I must state that for safety, honesty and cautious reasons, the information in this video was gathered through research on the internet. I am not telling you to do anything in particular. Your choices are of your own volition. Seek medical advice for further knowledge. What is the pituitary gland and its function within the brain? The brain's master gland. The pituitary gland is a small pea-sized master gland located at the base of the brain. It regulates vital body functions including growth, metabolism, reproduction and blood pressure by releasing hormones that control other endocrine glands. Connected to the hypothalamus, it consists of two main lobes, these being the anterior and the posterior lobes. These release the hormones that you see listed here. Key details about the pituitary gland. We'll start with location and structure. Situated in a small bony cavity at the base of the brain, called the sella turcica, or Turkish saddle. It is attached to the hypothalamus via the pituitary stem. Size. It weighs less than 1 grm and is roughly the size of a pea or kidney bean. Structure. It is divided into two main lobes, the anterior pituitary being the front and the posterior pituitary, this being the back. The master gland role of the pituitary. It controls other glands such as the thyroid gland, adrenal glands and reproductive organs by sending chemical messages, these being hormones, through the bloodstream. Two distinct lobes. Anterior pituitary, this being the adenohypophysis. It produces and releases hormones including growth hormone, GH, thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, and the adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, along with follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, the luteinizing hormone, LH, and also prolactin. Moving on to the posterior pituitary, neurohypophysis. This lobe stores and releases hormones synthesized by the hypothalamus. It specifically produces oxytocin, this being for childbirth and bonding. Also vasopressin, which is ADH, this being for water balance. Functions. The hormones produced regulate growth, gender maturation, reproduction, metabolism and water retention. Associated conditions. If the pituitary gland produces too much or too little hormone, it can lead to various ailments within the body, often caused by pituitary tumours. What are the signs of pituitary gland dysfunction? Signs and signals of pituitary ailments. Pituitary tumours, these being cysts or other growths, can cause headaches or problems with vision. In severe situations, it can even cause nausea and throwing up. Low levels of pituitary hormones can cause many signals such as fatigue, sexual dysfunction, and changes in body composition, appearance, or weight. What triggers a pituitary tumour? They say that they don't know exactly what causes most pituitary tumours. Which is funny really, because they seem to know everything else, don't they? But hey, that's just how it goes. But in recent years, researchers have made great progress in understanding how certain changes in the DNA in pituitary cells can lead them to forming a tumour. But it's better than nothing, isn't it? At least I got something. The DNA in our cells make up our genes, which control how our cells function. This is likely due to the very slow growth pattern in these tumours, often taking decades before causing signs or signals which lead to detection. Can stress affect the pituitary gland? The pituitary gland is integral in mediating the stress response via its role in hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis function, this being the HPA. Pituitary gland volume is altered in stress-related psychopathology, and one study to date has shown stress to be associated with age-related PGV change during adolescence. Here are some ailments which are caused due to a pituitary dysfunction. Pituitary gland ailments include acromegaly, Cushing's syndrome, some arginine vasopressin dysfunction, empty sella syndrome, hypopituitarism, tongue twister that one, hypopituitarism, and pituitary tumors. I'll say that one again. Hypopituitarism. That's a big tongue twister, that one. Hypopituitarism and pituitary tumors. So I'll go over these ailments which could arise quickly for you. Don't consider this a detour because they can all be attributed to a pituitary gland dysfunction. Each needs explaining, as you may not have heard of them or even be familiar with them at all. Acromegaly. Acromegaly is not a commonly seen chronic hormonal ailment which is caused by the pituitary gland producing excessive growth hormone in adulthood, typically due to a benign tumour. This causes tissues, organs and bones, particularly in the hands, feet and face, to grow abnormally large. It is often diagnosed in middle-aged adults and requires treatment such as surgery or given prescriptions to prevent serious complications. Key aspects of acromegaly. The cause: a benign tumour on the pituitary gland known as a pituitary somatotroph adenoma causes overproduction of the growth hormone. Pituitary somatotroph adenoma.
Check out that for a word.
Pituitary somatotroph adenoma. Physical changes. Common signs and signals include enlargement of hands and feet, the coarsening of facial features being protruding jaw, enlarged nose and brow bone, and the thickening of skin. Health complications that may arise. If untreated, it can lead to diabetes, high blood pressure, heart deterioration, arthritis and also vision problems. Diagnosis. It is usually diagnosed through blood tests that measure growth hormone and IGF-1 levels, often followed by an MRI of the pituitary gland. Treatment. Options include surgical removal of the tumour, often via the nose. Given prescriptions to reduce GH production, this being growth hormone, and radiation treatment for major situations. Because signs and signals develop slowly, diagnosis can often be delayed for years. Explanation. IGF-1 level. IGF-1 levels measure growth hormone activity, typically peaking during a turn of age in early maturity and declining with age. Normal ranges are highly dependent on your age, gender and the laboratory research used. Adult levels commonly ranging from 88 to 307 milliliters. Elevated levels may indicate acromegaly, while low levels suggest growth hormone deficiency. So real quick, I'll go over the typical IGF-1 reference ranges for adults. We'll start with men. This is approximately 115 to 307 milliliters. For women, this is different. It is approximately 88 to 246 milliliters. There's a bit of a difference there. You can see, yes. Moving on to the age factor. Levels decrease significantly after the age of 30, going on to 60. The purpose of IGF-1. Produced by the liver in response to growth hormone, it controls cell growth and tissue development. The expected life expectancy of someone with acromegaly. Life expectancy is similar to that of the general population when acromegaly is noticed, then dealt with from early out and treated effectively. Achieving serum growth hormone concentrations below 1 GL or normalizing serum IGF-1 levels reduces mortality to the normal expected standards. Next up is Cushing's syndrome. This is a rare and serious condition caused by prolonged exposure to high levels of cortisol. It commonly presents with weight gain, especially in the face, neck and stomach, thin, easily bruised skin and purple stretch marks. Causes include long-term high-dose steroid usage or pituitary and adrenal tumours. Treatment, which varies by cause, typically improves prognosis. Signs and signals often develop gradually, with weight gain being one of them. Rapid weight gain, specifically central obesity in the trunk of the body, and a rounded moon face also. Also seen are fatty deposits, like a buffalo hump, this being a fat pad between the shoulders or at the back of the neck. Skin changes may also be seen. The thinning of the skin that also bruises easily, slow healing wounds, and pink or purple stretch marks on the belly, thighs and the arms. Muscle and bone weakness. Weakness in the upper arms and thighs. This is known as proximal muscle weakness. Also, fragile bones leading to back aches and rib fractures. Cognitive and physical changes. Severe fatigue, anxiety, depression, mood swings, high blood pressure and high blood sugar, this being diabetes. Cushing's syndrome can be gender specific. Women may experience increased facial hair and irregular menstrual cycles, while men may experience reduced libido and fertility. Next up is arginine vasopressin, or AVP, also known as an antidiuretic hormone. ADH is a peptide hormone produced in the hypothalamus and released by the pituitary gland to regulate body water levels, blood pressure and kidney function. It acts on the kidneys to conserve water by reducing urine production. Insufficient production or action of AVP causes excessive thirst, and as stated on Medline Plus genetics research, can lead to severe dehydration and electrolyte imbalances. Function within the body. Water conservation. AVP increases water absorption in the kidneys' collecting ducts, concentrating waste water and preventing excess water loss. Blood pressure regulation. It stimulates the contraction of blood vessels, which can increase blood pressure. Osmotic balance. It helps maintain the proper balance of water and sodium within the body.
I'm black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy, vanity in her mitochondria. Since beginning of time, she been judged, but you honor her. True original woman of carbon, they copy her, but can't duplicate God design even if you got body done. How many more times do you need to hear it? It's spirit and scientific, just who you a product of. Getting harder to sleep on like case of insomnia, but we can't deny we've been pressured when we all birth diamonds. It's a big nose, thick hip, afro bandit, slim waist, juicy lip, indigenous status, soft as a flower, yet powerful in her essence. This song is for my sisters affirming them of they magic. I'm a black god, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black god, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want be my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black god.
Next up is empty sella syndrome, or ESS. This is an ailment where the sella turcica, which is the bony cup holding the pituitary gland, appears empty on imaging because the gland has shrunken or flattened, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to fill the space. Explanation: asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means having or showing absolutely no noticeable signs or signals of the ailment, infection, or medical situation, despite a positive diagnosis or presence of a bad health problem. Asymptomatic.
Check out that for a word.
Asymptomatic. It is frequently found incidentally, but can cause headaches, high blood pressure, or pituitary hormone imbalances. Types and causes. Primary ESS. The cause is unknown or idiopathic, but is often linked to increased cranial pressure, obesity, and hypertension. Explanation: idiopathic. This is a medical term used to describe an ailment or a sign of bad health that arises spontaneously or for which the exact cause is unknown. Specialists typically use this classification after ruling out other recognizable triggers or underlying health issues. Moving on to the secondary empty sella syndrome. This occurs when the sella becomes empty due to an identifiable issue such as a treated pituitary tumor, radiation therapy, head trauma, or surgery. Empty sella syndrome. Signs and signals. Most people with ESS have no signs, but when they do occur, they may include the following: chronic headaches, fatigue and low energy, irregular or absent menstrual cycles. You'll be seeing decreased libido and arousal, also high blood pressure. In rare cases, you'll be seeing vision changes or cerebrospinal fluid leakage from your nasal cavity. The treatment for empty sella syndrome. Many people with primary empty sella syndrome require no specific treatment once the diagnosis is established. If the pituitary function is found to be abnormal, medical treatment may be used to deal with the underlying hormone deficiencies. Last but not least on this list, hypopituitarism. Rarely seen, hypopituitarism is often a lifelong condition where the pituitary gland fails to produce sufficient amounts of one or more hormones, affecting essential bodily functions like growth, blood pressure, and reproduction. Signs and signals of this vary, commonly including fatigue, weight loss, low libido, and muscle weakness. It is most frequently caused by pituitary tumours, head trauma, or infections, and is treated with lifelong hormone replacement treatment. The signs and signals depend on which hormones are deficient and how quickly the condition develops. The general signs are fatigue, weakness, weight loss, low blood pressure, and sensitivity to the cold. Growth hormone deficiency. In youngsters, this causes slow growth and short stature. In adults, it causes reduced muscle mass, increased body fat and low energy. Gonadotropin deficiency. This leads to infertility, menstrual changes in women, and decreased libido or erectile dysfunction in men. Gonadotropin deficiency.
Check out that for a word.
Gonadotropin deficiency. Menstrual changes within women. You can say this word, amenorrhea or amenorrhea.
Check out that for a word.
Amenorrhea or amenorrhea. Next up is TSH deficiency or hypothyroidism. This causes fatigue, weight gain and dry skin. ACTH deficiency. This leads to fatigue, low blood pressure and hypoglycemia. So what actually causes hypopituitarism? The condition arises from damage to the pituitary gland or the hypothalamus. Pituitary tumours or adenomas. The most common cause comes as the tumours compress the gland. Head trauma. Brain injury from accidents can damage the gland also. Surgery or radiation. Treatment for brain tumours can affect the pituitary gland. So, with this particular point being known, you would have thought by now they would have come up with a different way, or at least tried to come up with a different way to sort out brain tumours rather than using radiation, because they're fixing one ailment with the radiation, but it's then having a secondary effect and messing with the pituitary gland, as just stated. Infections and inflammation, these being meningitis or hypophysitis.
Check out that for a word.
Quick explanation, hypophysitis. Hypophysitis is an inflammation of the pituitary gland. This condition causes the gland to swell, which can compress nearby structures such as the optic nerves and disrupt the body's hormonal balance. It can occur on its own, primarily, often autoimmune, or as a result of other ailments or given prescriptions as a secondary factor. Given prescriptions causing other ailments is seen way too often, these so-called remedies causing other problems. The signs of this usually fall into two categories, one being hormonal deficiency, fatigue, unexplained weight changes, low blood pressure, and in some cases severe thirst and frequent urination, this being diabetes insipidus. Moving forwards, vascular problems, subarachnoid hemorrhage or apoplexy. I'll say that last word again, apoplexy or apoplexy. Explanation, subarachnoid hemorrhage.
Check out that for a word.
Subarachnoid hemorrhage. This is a rare but life-threatening type of stroke caused by bleeding into the space surrounding the brain. It is a critical medical emergency that requires immediate treatment. Signs and signals. The hallmark sign is a sudden, agonising thunderclap headache that peaks in seconds, often described as the worst headache of your life. The worst headache of your life. I bet a few people can describe a few partners they've had as that. The worst headache of their lives. But you live and you learn, don't you? Yeah, we do. Other associated signs and signals include stiff neck and or neck pain, sensitivity to light, this is photophobia, nausea and throwing up. Next up, we have blurred or double vision, sudden confusion or changes in cognitive functionality, stroke-like signs, for example, slurred speech or weakness on one side, seizures or loss of consciousness. Moving on to the causes. So bleeding occurs in the subarachnoid space, the area between the brain and the skull. The primary causes include a ruptured brain aneurysm. This accounts for 85% of spontaneous cases. This is a bulge in a weakened blood vessel within the brain. Head trauma, physical injury from accidents or falls. Vascular malformations. These are tangles of abnormal blood vessels that leak or burst. The health specialists would call these AVMs. Diagnosis and treatment. If you have a good sense and feeling you might be going through or seeing signs of a subarachnoid hemorrhage, call emergency services as soon as possible. Diagnosis. Healthcare professionals will perform an urgent CT scan of the head or do a lumbar puncture to confirm the presence of blood. The lumbar puncture is otherwise known as a spinal tap. Treatment. The primary goal is to stop the bleeding and prevent further damage. If an aneurysm is found, neurosurgeons will secure it using either a surgical clip or tiny metal coils inserted through the bloodstream. Causes of hypopituitarism. Key factors include a history of head injury, brain radiation or brain surgery. Pituitary or hypothalamic tumours are the leading risk factors for adults. Hypopituitarism, the prognosis.
Check out that for a word.
Hypopituitarism is generally a chronic and lifelong condition, though it is not typically fatal if managed properly. With timely hormone replacement therapy, people going through this can lead a normal life. The prognosis depends on the underlying cause, especially if a tumour is involved. Hypopituitarism treatment. Tumour removal. Surgery to remove tumours causing the deficiency. Radiation therapy. This will be to shrink tumour cells.
I'm black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy, vanity in her mitochondria. Since beginning of time, she been judged, but you honor her. True original woman of carbon, they copy her, but can't duplicate God design even if you got body done. How many more times do you need to hear it in spirit and scientific, just who you a product of? Getting harder to sleep on like case of insomnia, but we can't deny we've been pressured when we all birth diamonds. It's a big nose, thick hip, afro bandit, slim waist, juicy lip, indigenous status, soft as a flower yet powerful in her essence. This song is for my sisters affirming them of they magic. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy.
Back to the scheduled video. After a few quick explanations on ailments and causes, signs and signals you may not have heard of, and which can be attributed to damage or deterioration of the pituitary gland. We are at how to check the pituitary gland, diagnosing pituitary gland dysfunction. Blood tests. They will test your blood to measure your hormone levels. Waste water test. They may take water samples over 24 hours to measure the levels of cortisol, a hormone produced by the adrenal gland. A saliva test. A late night saliva test also measures the level of cortisol. Key hormones and functions. The pituitary gland regulates vital processes, including the following: growth. Releases growth hormone to regulate physical development in youngsters and maintain the muscles and bones in adults. Metabolism. The pituitary gland secretes thyroid-stimulating hormone, which tells the thyroid gland to produce hormones that manage energy levels. Stress response. Produces adrenocorticotropic hormone.
Check out that for a word.
Adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, which stimulates the adrenal glands to release cortisol. I'll say that word again. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Bit of a tongue twister, that one. Reproduction. It releases the follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, and the luteinizing hormone, also LH, which control the production of estrogen, testosterone, and the maturation of female eggs and male nut fluids. Water balance. The posterior lobe releases antidiuretic hormone to help the kidneys manage the body's water and salt levels. Childbirth and nursing. It releases oxytocin for uterine contractions during labour and prolactin to stimulate breast milk production. Can you survive without a pituitary gland? The answer is yes. You can live without your pituitary gland. It won't affect your life expectancy if you take your hormone replacement treatments as prescribed and routinely check in with a healthcare professional. Can stress affect the pituitary gland? The pituitary gland is under the influence of hypothalamic corticotropin releasing factor, CRF, and secretes the adrenocorticotropin hormone, ACTH. These work in a feedback loop to propagate the stress response, and therefore may be a region that is critically affected by stress dysregulation. What are the early signs of a pituitary tumour? There are a few, some of which are as follows: fatigue, low energy, depression, weight gain, constipation, feeling cold, muscle aches, dry skin, and the breaking of hair. All of these are signs and signals of hypogonadism, hypothyroidism, or adrenal insufficiency, caused by the tumour pushing the pituitary gland and decreasing secretion of pituitary hormones. Explanation: hypogonadism. This is a condition where the body's reproductive glands, being the testes or the ovaries, produce little or no hormones, resulting in low testosterone or seminal seed levels in males or estrogen in females. Signs and signals include low libido, erectile dysfunction, infertility, fatigue, and reduced muscle mass. It is treated with hormone replacement therapy, while lifestyle changes like weight loss and managing diabetes can go towards recovery. Causes and types: primary hypogonadism, gonadal failure. This is a situation within the testes caused by genetic dysfunctions, for example, Klinefelter syndrome. Autoimmunity, infection, this being mumps, or damage from radiation surgery. Secondary hypogonadism, this being central. The brain fails to signal the gonads, often caused by pituitary tumours. severe obesity, type 2 diabetes, or anorexia nervosa. These signals will be coming from the hypothalamus or the pituitary gland. Signs and signals of male hypogonadism. We start with reproductive organ dysfunction, reduced libido, erectile dysfunction, reduced nocturnal and nighttime erections. Physical changes. You'll also be seeing reduced muscle mass, increased body fat, fatigue, gynecomastia, which is breast development in chest tissue, and the loss of body hair. Other signs may include infertility, hot flashes, and osteoporosis. Factors to consider: aging. There'll be a higher prevalence in men over the age of 45. Obesity and type 2 diabetes. Roughly 30 to 50% of men with these conditions may have hypogonadism. Impact on fertility. Hypogonadism frequently causes infertility in men because it reduces or stops seminal fluid production, a function directly tied to testosterone levels. So what's the treatment? We'll start with testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, available via gels, injections, or patches to boost low levels. Lifestyle changes, improved diet, weight loss, and reduced stress. Fertility treatment. If the goal is growing a family, special given prescriptions, such as these listed here, are used to stimulate seminal seed production. Explanation: HCG and FSH. In men, human chorionic gonadotropin and follicle stimulating hormone are used together as a fertility treatment to stimulate the testes to produce testosterone and the male nut fluid. HCG mimics luteinizing hormone, LH, to drive testosterone production, while FSH directly stimulates the cells in the testes responsible for male nut production. HCG stimulates the Leydig cells in the testes to produce testosterone. High levels of intratesticular testosterone are absolutely required for male nut production.
Check out that for a word.
Intratesticular testosterone. FSH stimulates the Sertoli cells in the testes directly. This process drives and supports the actual creation and maturation of male nut fluid. This is spermatogenesis. How do you keep the pituitary gland healthy? Engage in stress relieving activities such as meditation, yoga, or regular exercise. Regular sleep. Getting adequate sleep helps regulate the pituitary gland's production of hormones like the growth hormone and a thyroid stimulating hormone. Check out the circadian rhythm video on the channel for the sleep-wake cycles and how to regulate your sleep pattern. Which organs does the pituitary hormones most directly affect? Quick reiteration. The hormones your pituitary gland releases have effects on many parts of your body, especially your reproductive system organs, including the ovaries and testes, the thyroid, and the adrenal glands. Where are repressed emotions stored in the body? Different emotions settle in different areas of your body, and of course, you may not have heard this before. Fear and anxiety often manifest in the stomach. Anger is kept in the jaw and the fists. Grief is in the chest mainly, but can and does get felt elsewhere also. Plus, grief is felt in many different ways. It's a whole process with stages to go through until it passes. What are 5 signs your body has inflammation? The 5 classic signs of inflammation are redness, heat, swelling, pain, and loss of function. These are a response to injury or infection, with redness from increased blood flow, heat from this said increased flow, swelling from fluid buildup, and pain from tissue distortion. You'll also see the loss of function from the other signs and signals mentioned previously. Here's an explanation of each sign. We'll start with redness. The inflamed area appears red due to increased blood flow to the site. Heat. The skin feels warm to the touch because of the extra blood rushing to the area, though this is more noticeable in the extremities. Swelling. This could be a tumour. Fluid accumulates in the tissues, causing puffiness. This could be an edema. Pain. Pressure from swelling and chemical mediators irritate nerve endings, causing tenderness and pain. Loss of function. The affected body part temporarily can't work as it normally would due to pain and swelling, like reduced joint movement. These signs indicate the body's immune system is actively working to heal itself. How to flush inflammation out of your body. To reduce body inflammation, focus on an anti-inflammatory diet rich in fruits, leafy greens, fatty fish, these being salmon or sardines, nuts, olive oil and fermented foods. You need to do this while you're limiting processed foods, sugar and red meat, which promote inflammation. Also focus on hydration. Spices like turmeric and ginger, adequate sleep and stress management also help, as does moving the body through activities like gentle massage or elevation for swelling. Foods to eat which promote healing. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, rich in omega-3s. Fruits and vegetables, berries, cherries, leafy greens, being spinach and kale, broccoli and tomatoes. Healthy fats, olive oil, avocados, nuts, walnuts and almonds, seeds, these being chia and flax seeds. Fermented foods, these being yogurt, kefir, kimchi, kombucha, these hold probiotics for gut health. Spices, turmeric, which holds curcumin, ginger, which is also a spice. Both of these contain anti-inflammatory compounds. Fibre intake is great as well. These would be whole grains, beans and lentils. Foods to limit and avoid. These increase inflammation. Processed meats, swine meat. This just contains parasites. You should know by now. You should avoid this type of meat. It's not good for you. Other overly processed foods like fast food burgers, chicken nuggets, hot dogs and those types of things. Also things which include added sugars and refined carbs. These being sugary drinks, white bread and pastries. Bad fats and refined oils. These being fried foods, soybean and corn oils. Excess alcohol. Excessive alcohol intake weekly and for some people even daily has a massive effect also. Decrease immediately for health improvements. Lifestyle factors. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water and herbal teas. Manage stress. High stress levels can worsen inflammation. gentle movement. Massages and elevating swollen limbs can help lymphatic drainage. What is lymphatic drainage? Lymphatic drainage is a gentle, specialised massage that stimulates the flow of lymph fluid. By using light, rhythmic strokes, it encourages the body to clear waste products and reduce swelling. This is called a lymphedema, often caused by surgery, medical treatments, or injury. You could consider supplements. Vitamin D and spirulina might help, but consult a qualified GP first. Are bananas anti-inflammatory? Bananas contain anti-inflammatory components that could have a significant impact on human health. One such component is bromelain, an enzyme known for its anti-inflammatory properties. Bromelain has been studied for its potential to reduce inflammation and alleviate signs and signals in ailments such as osteoarthritis.
I'm black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy, vanity in her mitochondria. Since beginning of time, she been judged, but you're under her. True original woman of carbon, they copy her, but can't duplicate God design even if you got body done. How many more times do you need to hear it? It's spirit and scientific, just who you a product of. Getting harder to sleep on like case of insomnia, but we can't deny we've been pressured when we all birth diamond. It's a big nose, thick hip, afro bandit, slim waist, juicy lip, indigenous status, soft as a flower, yet powerful in her essence. This song is for my sisters affirming them of they magic. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy.
Right, back to the main video after that little detour. What is the pituitary gland and its function within the brain? What are the 5 signs of hormonal imbalance? 5 common warning signs of hormonal imbalance include fatigue, low energy, unexplained weight changes, mood swings or irritability, irregular menstrual cycles or fertility issues, and sleep disturbances. Also, other signs like acne, low libido, and skin changes are also common from time to time. These signs often signal situational dysfunction with hormones like estrogen, cortisol, thyroid hormones, or insulin, affecting metabolism, mood, and also reproduction. Five key signs which need attention: fatigue and low energy. Persistent tiredness or lack of energy, even after rest, can disrupt your natural sleep-wake cycle, controlled by hormones like melatonin and cortisol. Unexplained weight changes. Hormonal shifts can impact metabolism, leading to sudden weight gain or loss, often linked to cortisol or thyroid issues. Mood swings and irritability. Fluctuations in hormones like estrogen and progesterone can cause increased irritability, anxiety, or depression. Irregular or heavy menstrual cycles. Changes in cycle length, heaviness, or spotting can indicate imbalances in reproductive hormones, often seen POS or perimenopause. Sleep disturbances. Difficulty falling or staying asleep, being insomnia, is a common sign as hormones regulate sleep patterns. What vitamins help the pituitary gland? In particular, recent clinical and laboratory studies suggest that vitamin D may be essential for physiological pituitary function. But the mechanisms by which it regulates the pituitary and hormone release, are not yet fully understood. What is the superfood for the pituitary gland? This would be leafy greens. According to researchers, they provide the pituitary gland with the correct vitamins for good health. Leafy green vegetables can play a significant role in improving the functioning of the pituitary gland by providing essential nutrients such as vitamin A, C, K and folate, which are all antioxidants. Can exercise help with a pituitary tumour? A specific and tailored aerobic exercise program may be a viable interventional strategy in persons with a pituitary tumour after surgery to avoid falling into long-term ailments from a myriad, in other words, collection of physical and other signs and signals. Ultimately, an aerobic exercise intervention needs to be tailored to the specific individual. What part of the brain is most affected by exercise? Some of the most compelling evidence of exercise-mediated brain changes has been found in the hippocampus, a brain structure involved with memory as well as stress regulation. Which exercise is best for your brain? The best exercises for brain health. This particular study found that certain types of exercises provide specific cognitive benefits. Aerobic exercises like walking, jogging, swimming and bike riding enhance blood flow. They stimulate BDNF release and support memory and executive function. Quick reminder, BDNF release. This is brain-derived neurotropic factor. It acts like a miracle grow for your brain, promoting neuroplasticity, memory and learning. You can naturally maximise your BDNF levels through vigorous aerobic exercise, a diet rich in omega-3s and polyphenols, intermittent fasting and getting daily morning sunlight. Neuroplasticity is the brain's lifelong ability to reorganise, adapt and form new neural connections in response to learning experiences or injury. It allows the nervous system to continuously rewire itself, making recovery, skill acquisition and cognitive adaptation possible at any age. What happens to your brain if you exercise every day? It can improve memory and reduce anxiety or depression. Regular physical activity can also improve signs of brain health. Also, short bursts of physical activity can boost brain functions such as memory and thinking ability. What exercise is good for stress and anxiety? This is a quick reiteration. Almost any form of exercise or movement can increase your fitness level while decreasing your stress. The most important thing is to pick an activity that you enjoy. For example, you might try walking, stair climbing, jogging, dancing, bike riding, yoga, tai chi, even gardening, weightlifting or swimming.
I'm black side, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black side, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black side, vanity in her mitochondria. Since beginning of time, she been judged, but you honor her. True original woman of carbon, they copy her, but can't duplicate God design even if you got body done. How many more times do you need to hear it? It's spirit and scientific, just who you a product of. Getting harder to sleep on like case of insomnia, but we can't deny we've been pressured when we all birth diamond. It's a big nose, thick hip, afro bandit, slim waist, juicy lip, indigenous status, soft as a flower yet powerful in her essence. This song is for my sisters affirming them of they magic. I'm a black side, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they won't be my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy.
Right, so after a good few detours and many new pieces of information you might not have known, we're at that point of the video where I insert an unscheduled detour for extra learning and higher level IQs. This piece is on the psychology of mind programming and also the psychology of taking back the power of your mind. The psychology of mind programming. Mind programming is a psychological process of influencing or altering an individual's thoughts, behaviours and beliefs, often through repetitive conditioning. Environmental experiences, self-help techniques, or triggering trauma which can stem from all kinds of past experiences. It is rooted in the concept of neuroplasticity and the subconscious mind, which operates on autopilot, this being 95% of the brain activity, based on ingrained childhood formed patterns. Concepts of mind programming. Subconscious autopilot. Similar to computers, the brain uses stored programs from past experiences, hurts and beliefs to manage behaviour, often leading to self-sabotaging patterns if not consciously managed. Theta state. Between the ages of newborn to 7 years of age, children exist in a highly programmable theta brain state, absorbing environmental behaviours as fundamental programming. Neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to reorganise itself by forming new neural connections allows for the reprogramming of these unconscious traits and negative thoughts. Methods of reprogramming the mind. Self-observation and awareness. Identifying automatic reactions, triggers, and negative chatter is the crucial first step to taking over autopilot. Repetition and affirmations. Consistently feeding the subconscious positive new input to override old beliefs. Self-hypnosis and meditation. Assessing the alpha or theta states when the subconscious is more receptive to new programming, these times being such as before sleep or during meditation. Environmental design. Changing one's surroundings, daily habitual routines, and social influences, as the subconscious is shaped by daily inputs and social circles. The context of mind programming. We'll start with positive growth. Employed to overcome limiting beliefs, boost confidence, and change habitual routines through deliberate practice and focus. Manipulative influence. This involves the use of intense coercion to override autonomy. This is common in groups, gangs, relationships, cults, and political propaganda. Now we'll move on to the flip side of this segment and how to deal with this if you find yourselves in any types of situations where this may occur. The steps you can take and methods which can be employed to beat this psychological war of the mind, which could silently be inflicted upon you. The psychology of taking back power of your mind. Taking back power over your mind involves shifting from an external locus of control, meaning believing outside forces dictate your life, and moving to an internal locus of control. This means believing you are responsible for your thoughts, emotions, and also your actions. This requires cultivating self-awareness to stop automatic negative thoughts. You can do this by using mindfulness to pause between stimulus and response, and intentionally retraining neural pathways through consistent practice. Psychological principles to reclaim cognitive power. the locus of control shift. Actively move from believing circumstances control you, these being external, to believing you are the CEO of your destiny, this being internal. This one here can be difficult if you continually encounter situations or unavoidable persons which try to pull you out of this thought pattern. The technique needed here would be the ability to block them out, zone them out of your line of sight and peripheral vision altogether. Wherever and whenever this is unavoidable, you'll be keeping interaction to a minimal, mainly business, work or task focused. Keep them out of reach of your actual life. The power of the pause. According to Viktor Frankl, between a stimulus and your response there is a space, and within that space you will find your freedom to choose. Pausing interrupts the autopilot mode. That split second or that vital 5 to 10 seconds of thought space can either make or break you in most situations. That should be and is enough time to weigh up any situation and come out on top, or at least be in a half better situation than if you'd reacted badly and without thought. Retraining neural pathways. Your brain prefers familiar, established ski trails of thought, even if they are negative. Consistent new thought patterns create new neural grooves, making new ways of thinking easier over time. Disengaging from the inner critic. Rather than fighting negative thoughts, observe them and realize they are not objective reality. Actionable strategies for cognitive reclaiming. You can start with practice self-awareness. Use tools like journaling or keeping notes to monitor your behaviour and notice when you are running on autopilot. Also monitor personal power. Actively notice when you are giving away your power by saying, I have to, rather than I choose to. Change your internal language. Reframe statements. Change, I'm at the mercy of my mood, to, I can choose how to respond to my mood. You can use the let them theory. Reduce anxiety and conserve cognitive energy by letting others be disappointed, unhappy or wrong, rather than trying to control their actions. Remember and never forget, only you can control your actions. You can't make them act appropriately. You can only react accordingly. And with that being said, it has to be the correct reaction also. Establish small routines. Small things like making your bed to gain confidence in your ability to control larger aspects of your life. Try grounding techniques. Use 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 techniques. 5 things you see, 4 you feel, etc., etc. Or mathematical tasks to stop spiraling thoughts. Overcoming obstacles. Don't fight, redirect. Instead of fighting negative thoughts, which reinforces them, practice radical acceptance and simply disengage from it all, allowing them to pass while you focus on your goals. Recognize the 4 tricky aspects of the ego. Be aware of how the mind tricks us through blame, complaining, seeking external validation for inner voids and the false ego, using I, me, my to feel control. I hope you enjoyed and found value in this piece on the psychology of mind programming and also the psychology of taking back power of the mind.
A black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want be my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy, vanity in her mitochondria. Since beginning of time, she been judged, but you're honor her. True original woman of carbon, they copy her, but can't duplicate God design even if you got body done. How many more times do you need to hear it? It's spirit and scientific, just who you a product of. Getting harder to sleep on like case of insomnia, but we can't deny we've been pressured when we all birth diamonds. It's a big nose, thick hip, afro bandit, slim waist, juicy lip, indigenous status, soft as a flower yet powerful in her essence. This song is for my sisters affirming them of they magic. I'm a black god, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want be my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy.
The next few slides are equally as tasty, knowledgeable, and nourishing for the mind. So, what I'll do now is back up this piece on the psychology of mind programming and regaining control with scripture for God's children, light workers, brothers and sisters, with high IQs paying attention, those able to relay the message accordingly and for the right reasons. Philippians chapter 4 verse 8 instructs believers to focus their minds on positive, godly and virtuous things. It says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about such things. This emphasizes curating one's thought life. The verse acts as a guide to cultivate a peaceful, Christ-like mind by focusing on things that are uplifting rather than destructive. This gives us a spiritual strategy for renewing our minds, a way to filter the noise of anxious thinking through the lens of truth. Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. It promises that focusing on God and trusting Him provides unwavering inner peace, regardless of external circumstances, by relying on Him rather than personal anxiety or worldly solutions. Key takeaways and meanings. Perfect peace. Hebrew, shalom, shalom. This implies complete, total, or absolute peace, a calm spirit, not just a quiet life. Steadfast or stayed mind. This describes a mind fixed or focused on God, refusing to be distracted by worry, fear, or worldly distractions. Trust as a foundation. Peace is a result of trusting God, recognizing that He is the external Father, mentioned in the following verse, Isaiah 26:4. Actionable application. This verse is commonly interpreted as a call to actively manage one's thoughts, choosing to dwell on God's nature and promises rather than on problems. Context. The verse is a part of a song of praise in Isaiah, highlighting God as a protector and the source of security, contrasting with an instability of earthly powers. How to keep your mind in perfect peace. Here are 3 keys which could be installed into your quest to cultivate a lifestyle of perfect peace. Fix your mind on Jesus. Meditation releases revelation, and revelation releases manifestation. Make the Word of God the compass that guides your life to the best of your ability. Say this from time to time: I've hidden your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Amen. Finally, pray as often as you can. This is what is needed in these times we're living in now, for obvious reasons. This should not and does not need explaining.
I'm black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy, vanity in her mitochondria. Since beginning of time, she been judged, but you honor her. True original woman of carbon, they copy her, but can't duplicate God design even if you got body done. How many more times do you need to hear it in spirit and scientific, just who you a product of? Getting harder to sleep on like case of insomnia, but we can't deny we've been pressured when we all birth diamond. It's a big nose, thick hip, afro bandit, slim waist, juicy lip, indigenous status, soft as a flower yet powerful in her essence. This song is for my sisters affirming them of they magic. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm so in love with me, don't wanna be none like them. All across the globe, you see the fruit from my limbs. They try to knock me down, but I'm resilient, I win. I'm a black guy, I really love the skin that I'm in. I'm brilliant, I'm sexy, they want me my twin. I'm sacred, creative, got power within. They try to knock me down, but I'm destined to win. I'm a black guy.
So, in summary for this video, we'll go over the main points for the pituitary gland. This should freshen up the memory of past segments throughout the video. These will give you a good understanding of this particular area, being the brain's master gland, so you know what to look for with signs and signals. The brain's master gland. The pituitary gland is a small pea-sized master gland located at the base of the brain. It regulates vital bodily functions including growth, metabolism, reproduction and blood pressure by releasing hormones that control other endocrine glands. Connected to the hypothalamus, it consists of two main lobes, these being the anterior and the posterior. It produces hormones like these listed here. Key details about the pituitary gland. Location and structure. Situated in a small, bony cavity at the base of the brain called the sella turcica, or Turkish saddle. It is attached to the hypothalamus via the pituitary stem. Size. It weighs less than 1 grm and is roughly the size of a pea or kidney bean. Structure. It is divided into two main lobes, the anterior pituitary, which is the front, and the posterior pituitary, which is the back. The master gland role. It controls other glands, such as the thyroid gland, adrenal glands, the reproductive organs, by sending chemical messages, these being hormones, through the bloodstream. Associated conditions. If the gland produces too much or too little hormone, it can lead to various ailments, often caused by pituitary tumours. What are the signs of pituitary gland dysfunction? Signs and signals of pituitary ailments. Pituitary tumours, cysts or other growths can cause headaches or situations with vision, or in severe cases, nausea and throwing up. Low levels of pituitary hormones can cause many signals such as fatigue, reproductive organ dysfunction, and changes in body composition, appearance or weight. Here are some ailments which can be put down to a pituitary gland dysfunction. Pituitary gland dysfunctions include acromegaly, Cushing syndrome, some arginine vasopressin ailments, empty sella syndrome, hypopituitarism, and pituitary tumours. How to check pituitary gland? Blood tests. They will test your blood to measure your hormone levels. Or they'll take wastewater samples over 24 hours to measure levels of cortisol, a hormone produced by the adrenal gland. Saliva test. A late night saliva test also measures the level of cortisol. What are the early signs of a pituitary tumour? There are a few, some of which are as follows: fatigue, low energy, depression, weight gain, constipation, feeling cold, muscle aches, dry skin, and breaking hair. How do you keep the pituitary gland healthy? Engage in stress-relieving activities such as meditation, yoga, or regular exercise. Regular sleep. Getting adequate sleep helps regulate the pituitary gland's production of hormones like growth hormone and the thyroid-stimulating hormone. Check out the circadian rhythm video on this channel for the sleep-wake cycle. How to flush inflammation out of your body. Hydration. Spices like turmeric and ginger, adequate sleep, and stress management also help, as does moving the body through activities like gentle massage or elevation for swelling. Foods to eat. These promote healing. You'll start with fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, rich in omega-3s. Fruits and vegetables. Berries, cherries, leafy greens, being spinach and kale, broccoli, tomatoes. Healthy fats. Olive oil, avocado, walnuts and almonds, chia and flax seeds. Spices. Turmeric, which contains curcumin, also ginger. Both of these contain anti-inflammatory compounds. Fibre intake is also great to promote healing, these being whole grains, beans and lentils. What is the main superfood for the pituitary gland? This would be leafy greens. According to researchers, they provide the pituitary gland with the correct vitamins for good health. Leafy green vegetables can play a significant role in improving the functioning of the pituitary gland by providing essential nutrients such as vitamin A, C, K, and folate. These are antioxidants. Can exercise help with a pituitary tumour? A specific and tailored aerobic exercise program may be a viable interventional strategy in persons with a pituitary tumour after surgery to avoid falling into long-term ailments from a myriad of physical and other signs or signals. Ultimately, an aerobic exercise intervention needs to be tailored to a specific individual. What part of the brain is most affected by exercise? Some of the most compelling evidence of exercise-mediated brain changes has been found in the hippocampus, a brain structure involved with memory as well as stress regulation. Which exercise is best for your brain? The best exercises for brain health. Aerobic exercises like walking, jogging, swimming and bike riding enhance blood flow, stimulate BDNF release and support memory and executive function. BDNF release is brain-derived neurotropic factor. Now you know and understand how the pituitary gland plays a crucial role in brain function. It's vital that you take care of this area of the brain, which is considered and performs as the master gland within the brain systems. Stay alert, be aware, stay sharp, happy navigation, good luck.